First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX and WIBX950.com.
Celeste friend standing by right now. Celeste, good morning. By the Common Council.
Good morning, Bill.
Appreciate you waiting for us as we get through all of our stuff here this morning.
Sure. It was fun listening.
Listen, tell me, are we getting people back in these Common Council meetings?
We are getting the public back to the Common Council meeting, which is just really exciting. For more than a year, we haven't been able to have the public in the room, and now we can. So starting at our next meeting, which is May 19th, the public can come to the meeting.
Celeste, be careful what you ask for. I'm just going to tell you.
I know. Everything has a downside.
It does,
From my point of view, it's always been an upside overall to have the people there.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It feels very odd to be making laws, making decisions on behalf of the people of Utica, and I look to my right, and the benches are all empty. And I'm really looking forward to having people in those benches again.
I think that's big. I thought it was interesting in OD this morning. They did a story on what we know about the Comets and what's going to happen with the Utica Comets. And the mayor didn't have the mayor had no comment. Of all stories to not comment on, I was really surprised that he had no comment. What's going on there, Celeste?
I don't know much. Don't ask me. I think I think that, as you were all just saying, we have such a terrific fan base here. I'll be really surprised if they pass up Utica. So I think there's another team coming right up behind them.
Celeste, that's a great comment.
That is a great answer.
Bingo, right off the top of her head. Very easy.
The mayor, it'll be exciting.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
It'll be exciting to welcome a new team. We're sorry to see the Comets go, and that's sad. It's an end of a terrific era, but new teams, that's exciting too. Now what we need is baseball. I want baseball.
Well, that's interesting.
Single A ball.
In my conversation with Binghamton yesterday, and by the way, I believe the Comets stay.
We're coming for your Rumble ponies.
But it's a new team.
I want those Rumble ponies.
It's a new team. And in Binghamton, they have they have double A, which is bigger than what we've ever had. We were single A here. I agree. I think baseball here would be really cool in the summertime.
And I think that the fan base that we get for the Comets shows that Utica can support a double-A team.
Yeah, I agree. Yep, I agree.
And of course, it would be terrific for South Utica because where are they going to play? They're going to play at Murnane Field.
Right.
And that's South Utica, so I'm all over that.
Now I know
to have a baseball team there.
I do know there's somebody out there yelling at their radio right now saying there is a Blue Sox team there right now, but
I know.
On one hand, it is different because there's no major league affiliation. On the other hand, when you find out that last night when the no-hitter was the Orioles no-hitter was thrown, that was a player that played on one of those collegiate teams in Utica, which is kind of cool. So,
I had missed that. That's terrific. Isn't that exciting?
There's actually two of them, right?
Yeah, the no-hitter was the guy from the Little Falls, Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs.
Oh, okay,
but
right.
the guy who was teeing up home runs against the Yankees a week and a half ago was a Utica Brewer.
From Utica. So that's kind of cool. All right, what else can we look for, Celeste, at these Common Council meetings?
Well, I'm going to start talking at Common Council about the need to do better at getting the word out about meetings. So we're, of course, required under New York State law to advertise. All public meetings have to be advertised in advance. And currently we're only doing that in the OD. And given that OD and newspaper readership in general is down, I think it's time for the council to think about social media as a venue in which you make sure that people know about these meetings.
Are you saying, and I guess I've never looked, does the Common Council not have a Facebook page?
It doesn't. It doesn't have a Facebook page, and it doesn't have a Twitter handle. Now, the mayor does, and the city does, but the council itself doesn't have its own Facebook page. And what I'm imagining is a Facebook page that would be run exclusively by the clerk, just in order to announce our official business. Council members themselves can have their own Facebook pages to talk about issues.
Yeah.
I certainly do, and I use mine a lot. But what I'm imagining is something much more kind of bare bones than that, simply announcing when the meetings are and here are the links to legislation and, very kind of straightforward stuff managed, as I say, just by the clerks themselves, not by individual council members. But we ought to have a Facebook page.
Yeah,
it's 2021.
It's a great idea to have the clerk involved and have it not be individual members of the council, because then you could get little messages put in about little digs on legislation.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I totally agree with you there. But let me ask, why not just use the City of Utica social media? It's not if it's just about meeting notices and legislation, that also falls under the city's authority,
well,
I guess.
I'm not sure that the city has a Facebook page. The mayor does. The mayor goes on Facebook, but I'm not sure, to tell you the truth, whether the city itself does. But the reason that I would want the council to have its own page is simply so that the council can be in control of it. I don't want the clerks to have to call somebody else to say, hey, you forgot to announce this committee meeting.
Right.
Let's just, the council is an independent organization within government. We are, a co-equal branch of government. We should run our own things.
Now, you're not suggesting, because if I'm correct, the OD is the official newspaper of the Utica Common Council, and those announcements are actually paid for, right? I think you pay to have those. And that's,
they are our newspaper of record. Correct.
Right, which you could have it could be a website of record. The newspaper could be an online newspaper, I guess, right? Right. But I can't imagine that is going to happen. So you're not suggesting you leave the OD, you keep the OD in place, but you add social media to the mix.
Absolutely. So I would, obviously we would continue. The OD would be our newspaper of record. We would continue to pay to place all of those notices in the newspaper. Twitter and Facebook would be in addition to that. And of course, Twitter and Facebook are free. So there's literally no cost involved. A little bit of time on behalf by the clerks. And the council members themselves don't even have to give it a second thought.
Right.
Once we kind of set it up, once we direct our clerks, here's what we want you to do.
And then,
I'm going to bring that legislation and talk about that at the committee meeting.
What about, speaking of technology, things that have come during the pandemic and are not going to necessarily go away? Why not still zoom out the council meetings where if people can't get into the council chambers, or feel uncomfortable, some people are still very, very cautious because of the virus, they could still log in and tune into the council meeting?
I think that actually will happen. So what happens now is, for the public, they can watch live on YouTube, right? So the Zoom is just for the people who are actually participating in the meeting. We don't want to have 100 people on Zoom.
So it'll still be on YouTube live.
People can go to YouTube and watch the meeting live.
Okay.
And I think there's no reason not to continue with that.
Got it.
Now,
all right.
and I think it's about safety, as you say, but also here's how I imagine it. You're a young mother and you want to sort of keep track of this stuff. Are you going to come home from work, make dinner, get the kids, give the kids a bath, and then go down to City Hall?
Mm-hmm.
You might be more likely to be engaged in city politics, in the life of the city, if you can simply turn on your computer and you've got the meeting going while you're getting the kids ready for bed, while you're cleaning up from dinner, et cetera. So I think that we can increase our engagement, our public engagement, if we both allow people back in the room, which I'm really looking forward to, but if we also carry on with these digital methods by which people can simply watch the meeting live. Yeah.
All right. I like it. Celeste, we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, nice talking to you.
All right. Have a great day. Thank you.
All right, you too. Bye,
Celeste Friend.